Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you about the form, texture, and phrasing in Casella's Galop final. So Galop final is, as a whole, is a very short and rather straightforward composition. The main concept of the piece is that it starts off very upbeat, high tempo, and also joyful. And as the piece and the main motif develops, or main motifs develop, the tempo increases until by the end, everyone in the room dancing is drunk, running around like horses, waltzing their butts off, basically. Motif A basically can be summed as section A, to put it simply, while motif B marks section B of the piece. So a simple way of explaining the whole form would be the piece has an AB structure with a coda. However, if you analyze even further, you realize that it actually has an AB section, a little bit of an embellishment, then a repeat of the A section, and then essentially three different versions of the B section with a coda. So it could be called A, B, little embellishment, A, B1, B2, B3, and then a coda. Okay, so here is motif A. It lasts from bar 4 until bar 19. Motif B goes from bar 20 until bar 33. Then Casella embellishes the piece with a tumbling strain type falling arpeggio for 4 bars and returns to motif A again. Now the beginning of motif B, or section B if you will, remember it's AB, AB, so this is our recapitulation of the B section. However, it's modulated to a new key, which our lovely Emery will analyze further on. So this can be called B1, if you will, and B2 basically continues the B section as it was before in C major. Now B3, it's our same motif, same melody, but it's as if the melody is stuck, as if there's a CD skipping. You know, Casellas was way ahead of his time, didn't even know what CDs were, but he created the CD skip. And then he has the coda. So one interesting thing to note is that Casellas begins the piece on the 4th bar, well, at least the motif begins, or the melody begins on the 4th bar, while the first 3 bars are used to set the pace of the sort of gallop and to create a firm grounding rhythm for the dancers to follow. And he actually uses this technique in multiple of his children's pieces. Now, to take this a step further, one of the most interesting and mind-blowing parts of this composition for me is the way in which Casella structured and organized the actual layout of the bars. So there are 70 total bars in Galop Final. Now, Casellas was a refined man who had refined taste. He didn't do simple 4-bar progressions. No, no. Now, take the way the piece starts, for example. An obvious way of beginning a song in 2/4 would be to have the rhythm play for 2 or 4 bars and then have the melody come in. So like bum 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 doo 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 doo. That's basically 2 bars, but not refined enough for Casellas. No, no. he likes to confuse the listeners and the dancers by introducing the melody on the third bar unexpectedly. So the piece begins with a 3-bar introduction. The melody then plays for 8 bars and repeats for another 8 bars. He then introduces the second melody, or if you will, the second motif, which goes on for 8 bars and repeats for 6 bars. And then he kind of embellishes it for 4 bars with this tumbling strain thing, and then he repeats section A again, or in fact he repeats the introduction, but instead of for 3 bars, he goes on for only 1 bar. The motif continues for 8 bars, it's then modulated to a new key for 8 bars, motif B continues to play for 11 bars all of a sudden. And then you have the coda going on for 11 bars, and then 1 bar of silence, and then 2 bars for his epic final gallop. You know, he was an absolute madman, Casella. And in this piece, Casella incorporates pretty playful, but also somewhat dramatic dynamic changes and tempo changes to achieve this effect. So the piece starts off
prestissimo, or fast, and the main motif is to be played allegramente, which means brightly. As the piece develops, it then becomes più forte, or louder, then meno forte, softer, then più forte again. Then it all of a sudden
becomes stringendo, I don't know how to say that, stringendo, which basically means gradually increasing in dynamics and tempo. And then it goes ancora più prestissimo, even faster, and then
poco allungando, decreasing in tempo. And considering this is the final gallop, the composition to end all compositions, Casella doesn't hold back, forcing the pianist to go absolutely bananas on this last chord, as you can see by these 3 Fs, which, as this chart shows, basically means yelling all 11 notes at the top of your lungs, or in this case, just pounding on the piano as hard as you can.